And from the top. And we are connected here on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. How goes it? I'm eating soup, so excuse me. It's running late, so I have to combine dinner with work. All right, we'll give everybody get started. Go over the news. Go over today's plays. Tomorrow's watch list, and then as always, we're gonna take your requests. So, um, have I read any 10Ks lately? Um, why do you ask? Is the first thing that I would ask you. Because every time I get this question, it's always facetious. Always. All right. So looks like we got everybody kind of piling in here on YouTube and stuff like that. The boy who lived. How about the boy who got banned on TikTok? That's what happened. That's all right. We're doing grown man shit here. Grown people shit. All right. Let's pull up the news. What's up, Mike? What's up, RTB? All right, so let's go ahead and hit the news. I think everybody will just end up piling and can just hit the rewind button. So 6 out of 11 sectors closed green. Communication services, information technology, and energy were today's winners. Here's your friendly reminder as well that this week is the Fed's May FOMC meeting. Interest weights are expected to increase around 0.5%. And the Fed announced earlier this year that this month would mark the beginning of a heavy balance sheet reduction. Bitcoin is up 0.9%, Ethereum up 2.9%, 2.09%. Not much movement in the broader crypto space over the last 24 hours. Today, in big gainers, we saw ZYME up about 12%, TQQ, which was up 4.7%, and the QQQ, which was up 1.67%. Going over the major ETFs, S&P was up 0.57%, NASDAQ 1.63%, the Russell 2000 1.01%, and the Dow Jones 0.26%. May and June are going to be are huge months for the Russell U.S. indexes. Sure. Let's see here. As our title implies, or the title implies, this rearrangement, also called a reconstitution, it involves the index creators reallocating the Russell's portfolio based on market cap. And so I believe, that's May and June. So there's going to be a lot of moving around. If you guys want any more detail, because that's a relatively long article, let me know, DM me on the Discord, and I will send that to you. Travel stocks, companies in the travel space also moved to the upside. We saw Expedia, MGM, and Avis. The reason why I even go over these things is it's really, really important to be aware. Be aware of the overall sectors, what's moving and what could cycle into what. Expedia moved about 1.25% after hours, reported total bookings up 58% in Q1 of 2022, totaling $24.4 billion. Bookings were still down from Q1, but revenue was up 78% in lodging and up 50% for air travel. I'm not going to go over each and every one of those. In other news, guys, Chegg. What the? It's so. I don't know. Sorry. Chegg was obviously trending today. The company blew its earnings out of the water, but investors were not pleased with Chegg's full year guidance. The company reported $202 million in revenue in the quarter with an EPS gain of 32 cents per share. The stock ended up falling more than 30%, We saw it down to I think around $16. So that one hit the dumpy. That's a technical term. Big C, which is actually a company that I used to be invested in way back. Um, Thoughts on fix? Has anyone asked about charting Doge yet? No, you should do it just to keep it fresh. Um, did I take MGM? No. I'm one of those guys who, if I have a really good day trading, or if I nailed the day trade day, a lot of times I'll pass on the earnings. I will be playing earnings on tomorrow though. So yeah, 100%. Definitely playing earnings. So. Um, I like there's a tornado out of my outside of my house right now. It's kind of frightening. Um, Really quickly, trying to wrap this up. All right, that's about it. Um, by the way, Vice Media, if you guys are familiar, Vice has hired financial advisors to seek a buyer, may sell itself in pieces. Just something to keep in mind. All right. I like turtles. There's nothing really I could do about that. Uh, if you guys are, Baby Wizard, give me just a minute here. I'm gonna go over a couple of things here. Um, First of all, if you guys are on TikTok and you guys want to join us, I am on YouTube live right now, screen share and camera, and my latency is really low, so you're not missing much. So if you guys want to hit the link in the bio, yeah, Vice has turned into garbage, but do I think Roblox keeps dumping? I think it's an $18 to $15 stock personally, but that's just my thoughts. All right, so today, well, first of all, before I go any further, economic calendar for tomorrow, and I will go over this tomorrow. Morning jolts, I believe is tomorrow morning. Yes, factory orders, earnings calendar highlighted. We've got Starbucks, AMD, Pfizer tomorrow morning, Airbnb, Lyft. Those are some of the bigger names there. BP is also snuck in there. MicroStrategy, Match Group. Keep your eyes actually peeled on Match Group. And so right now I'm going to be taking notes because when I do analysis, I do it with you guys. I don't. I do prep for the streams, but I don't do a lot of like prepping outside of it. I try and do it as so. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm writing things down for earnings match group. The reason why I'm bringing up match group is the way that they move on earnings, and it stands out in my mind just because I've seen multiple earnings with match group. So definitely and it's one of those stocks that's still seeking a solid valuation. So I think that this may help reel it in. But Match Group, AMD, obviously. Now, AMD is another stock that has had a absolutely crazy dump. So they would really have to screw up bad, I think, to dump any further. I see them as a reversal play, and I actually have a really good for AMD. I have 110 to the upside and 75 to the downside, and those are contracts that I'm gonna be looking for on AMD. So. What's up? Thank you for the roses. Beef with Starboy. Homie just started making a lot of money and then started randomly talking shit about me. So no, I don't have beef. I don't. I just say stuff. I speak up. So we've got earnings tomorrow. We've got our economic calendar. Recap for today. And I really want to bring this up because I obviously screwed up. If you guys don't remember at the bell. Now that doesn't matter, and I want to. The reason why I want to recap this in particular is because it was such a really good play to the upside for pretty much everybody. I didn't really see anybody get burned on Facebook to the downside or reversing or anything. It even gave you 2 or 3 different opportunities to close your position out green. Those of you guys on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live, et cetera, you guys caught this with us as well. The first thing that I spotted this morning that and one, you guys may have seen me do this, but I actually exited. We were in downside positions, and one thing that spooked me, and I said this before, I do not like small gaps. They normally do not hold, and the reason why I was thinking downside was because of that gap, and so I was planning on shorting the gap, letting it bounce off of 200, and then seeing where it went. But this resistance, and I want you guys to just think about this in the future. Let's make sure that TikTok can see here. Yeah, I love volatility like this. Charts garbage. All right, well then don't watch, buddy. I did not miss TikToks. That stuff. So one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is three is a magic number when you're doing technical analysis. And you guys can see that the proof is right here. It's actually really impressive. So right here in the morning, I saw that there was a downtrend, and it was untouched for the third time. I also noticed that there was, and usually anytime you have a clean, and we'll call this a channel, but anytime you have a channel type support like this, normally that is oftentimes, like if you get down to support, oftentimes you're going to look for this type of engulfment candle to look for a tap of resistance. So we ended up taking Facebook to the upside. But that is the number one thing that I wanted to point out here is that number, that three number. So 1, 2, 3, and then you break. You also have this high. So even though you do have a inside of this pattern, you have a small channel to the downside. You actually set yourself up with an ascending triangle. So the higher time frame, again, 1, 2, 3, breakout, 1, 2, 3, breakout, 1, 2, 3, and a bounce. That's just something to look for. Three should be a number that you guys keep in mind when you're trading and when things are setting up. And that's one thing that I wanted to talk about as well is letting things set up. A lot of new traders, I'm not sure, how you guys on TikTok did, but when we get really big moves to the downside, and after this, guys, I'm going to go ahead and uh, get on with it. But when you get really big moves to the downside, it is not against the grain to bounce right back up. It is absolutely 100% a part of the game. Um, it's a part of technical. So oftentimes people say bear market rallies are better than bull market rallies. Bull market rallies, you have a little bit of indecision. Algorithms, people getting out from underneath short positions, that oftentimes will fuel more liquid moves to the upside. So that's something to keep in mind. So when you're getting really, and I spoke about this Friday, when you're euphoric and things are going really, really well, that's often when it's time to TP and take a step back. So anyway, that's it. I'm done ranting. Watch list for tomorrow remains Facebook. Facebook does have the invisible cup and handle that we talked about before. I will warn you that if this thing gaps up at this gap, I'm out. I'm out. I did see an extraordinary amount of flow for downside positions. And so that's something that I'm going to be taking into consideration going into tomorrow. So if we do get a really good gap up, which would be totally sick, then this gap, which is 217.40, is where we're going to TP that Facebook trade, which, mind you, Facebook was the whole setup, right? I actually played Facebook to the upside, left a runner. That runner went red. And then I used Q puts and then took those Q gains and literally we caught the bounce on Facebook like on the dot due to this setup right here. But we were able to average down and come out of that with a pretty good average and a nice gain. So we will see what tomorrow brings. So Facebook is on the watch list. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on Microsoft. We are in a position signaled by Top Shelf in the Discord. He is absolutely the man. If you guys are swing traders, if you guys are not in our Discord, if you guys do end up doing a trial, we have a 14-day trial up right now. You guys are more than welcome. Well, obviously to check out his channel. He's been doing this for way longer than I have, and his perspective is obviously gold. So somebody to check out. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. It's one of the reasons why I'm addressing it. So. Anyway, Microsoft is set up, looking for a third tap of resistance. By the way, if you're new or brand new to the market, I'm not talking to you at all. You're brand new. You do not need to be buying or, yeah, stop yourself. I'm talking to people who are already trading or already obviously doing their own thing. With Microsoft, a really, really nice support build. And this one looks like it's going to end up moving into this 289.60 mark. I am currently holding, and I'll show you guys. So tomorrow we are only trading the small account. Um, thank you. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly what that's looking like. So I've been periodically, I've been trading my main account, making up for the loss, I guess if you want to call it that. Um, uh, that moving has caused me in my real life. Cost a lot of money to move twice in 4 months. So, but right now, this is what we're working with. If you guys are been trading with us, I'm gonna keep yeah, so right now we've got as far as positions are concerned, I'm holding on to that Microsoft June 6th call. We've got Facebook with a 217.50 call. We've got Rivian, which this one, like I said, I'm holding this one almost indefinitely. If you want to hedge it, you can. But tomorrow we're going to be starting fresh. And I'm only going, so anything that I signal tomorrow will be with this small account. And the reason why, and we're done with the gap shit. There was a lot of gaps. Now there's not as many gaps. We'll do that again when it's available. Obviously, just trading gaps doesn't always work out. Also, moving, I no longer have access to the Gap account. That was my partner's. So, but anyway, yeah. So we're gonna be looking at exploring longer expirations, even if we have a smaller amount of premium. So that's one thing that I'm going to be talking and trying to give you guys examples of. Yeah, I did end up having it. Um, here we go. Thanks. Good job. So we've got Microsoft. I'm going to be watching that one to the upside. And then really aside from that, y'all, my watch list is pretty small. Obviously, I'm going to be saving some BP on the small account for AMD and Starbucks. There wasn't really any earnings that I'm interested in playing the after effects of. There could be Expedia movement tomorrow, but I think that's outside of my yeah. That's not something that I'm interested in trading. So yeah, I did end up. Can I go over my recent swings and why I took them? Not right now. I would definitely do that maybe tomorrow morning after kind of everything slows down, just because I want to finish up here. So I'll start the small account challenge. Cool. Big spooked about it. Nah, nah, it's not your fault. AMD fell. All right. If you guys have any chart requests, um, I'll let you guys know what I take on that one. So, but yeah, if you guys have any chart requests, let me know. And I'll go ahead and take those now. So. Dollar sign. By the way, if you guys are in TikTok, this is only for YouTube. So hit the link in the bio, drop the request, and then you can come right back in if you guys wish. I wonder if we get to 2 7 or 292.75 tomorrow on Microsoft. That would be really crazy, but we could end the week there. Yeah, doing well, man. What's up? Let's. Can I charge spy? Yeah, we'll do spy. Those of you guys on the YouTube channel, if you guys are gonna drop those requests, chart requests, let me know. All right, so I actually already have. I think that we rip tomorrow, possibly. So we could see another leg to the downside. I'm not quite sure, but we did nail the bounce on SPY to the downside. I'm thinking this is setting up as a falling wedge. Um, and this is kind of what I got right now. So running off the top, your resistance is there. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to see 417.75 tomorrow and 420.75 based on the setup now currently. Anywhere below 410, and I think that obviously things could possibly go sideways. So um, yes. ES level to watch is 4183 or 4185. Yeah, 4185 to the upside. I would say 4215 is likely a solid level to watch for ES. INTC. All right, this is pretty cool. So really, really solid levels here on INTC. You've got, and we'll just call this a bounce, but you've got $44, one, two, three bounces of support. That's 43.85. Downtrend. So let's step back. I think we've got this one already charted. Hell yeah, we do. So this one has a actually really solid area of containment. Downtrend is here, right there. Um, so you've got a gap fill pivot point. I would say 45.72. 45.72, and if you can push anywhere, and honestly, I don't know if I would play it anywhere above that, but 47.90 and $48 would likely be where you're gonna see resistance hit. Otherwise, INTC after that gap fill, if you do see a rejection, this is likely to play out as a head and shoulders, and you should see it back down as 41.15. So looking at this one, personally, I see it down around that range. But that being said, I see it moving from there. So likely, if tomorrow, here's the deal. If tomorrow INTC gaps up to 42 or gaps up to like 45.30 and then hits and fills the gap, I think that you reverse there. So, all right. The next one I got right now is Roku. If you guys are on TikTok, remember I'm taking these requests. Do you think Trading View Pro is worth it? Yes, I do. Um, I just ended my TikTok. All right. I accidentally just destroyed my life. Let's see. All right, so that is a falling wedge that fell more. You actually ended up making a new low, $85. Currently up against your pivot point and daily whole ribbon indicator. If you don't know what the whole ribbon indicator, it doesn't matter. It's just a momentum indicator. Oftentimes, when you cross above it, you can expect further upside. And if you reject it, oftentimes you can, with an engulfing candle or something like that, oftentimes you can expect further downside. But stepping up and zooming in a little bit further to Roku on a lower time frame, you're going to start from this high right here, and you'll see that Roku has actually broken that lower time frame downtrend. So that's right actually here. Oops. It's just a little bit messy. So ignore that. But here's your downtrend. And you did end up breaking Roku with and I mentioned this today. This is a textbook, I would say a relatively textbook inverse head and shoulders. So if you go to the hourly, it becomes a little bit clearer. So you've got the shoulder here, the head there, and then your other shoulder there. So the shoulder, the neck or shoulder line break would be at that 103.50. The first target's going to be 105.90. And then from there, if you do end up making, and really I would say 104.65 and then 105.90. But anywhere above that, and I mean, the next area of supply is going to be 111. So the NQ is leading so bigly. You got kicked off TikTok. I just restarted the thing. Apple, please. Yeah, just give me 1 second. All right, so we got Roku. I'm gonna actually set a couple of alerts on Roku here because this is a really nice inverse head and shoulders, and we're gonna be looking for a possible entry at 104 to the upside. And one thing that we don't want to ignore here, I don't know if this is valid quite yet. No, that's valid. It's already broke. So never mind. All right, so that's Roku with an inverse head and shoulders on the 15 hourly time frame, up against resistance or downtrend, looking for a possible retest of around 110, and that's if we see some sizable movement from the cues. So one thing that I will mention is that we did see a lot of downside position taken. And so if we do not see that downside, or there is a possibility for some type of squeeze movement. So something to keep in mind. All right, so we've got Roku, and I'm going to be writing these down. Actually, so really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and tweet these out. So each request that you guys do, if you have a request, I'm going to try to mark these out. Now, anybody else who's not on the live is not going to know what I'm talking about, or what levels I'm marking out, but you will. So this is for you, not for them. They're not here unless they know what I'm talking about, then that's fine. But anyway, so that's that 113. So you've got a small gap there. That's a big level right there. You've got this 105, 106 level. So those are some levels to keep in mind for Roku. So I'm going to go ahead again and tweet out the chart really quick. All right. That is that's funny. Okay. Not a problem. So make sure to check out the Twitter if you guys want any of those charts. Have I ever you ever play IB Roundup? Yes, I do. If you guys are on TikTok, guys, I'm on YouTube Live right now, and if you want questions answered, whatever they may be, that this is the time to do it. So, okay, we've got Roku and IWM. Oh shit. All right, daily time frame. That's where we're gonna start right now. All right, so where are we at? This is the support. This is where you retested. So maybe some of the flow that we did see um, to the downside, right, could possibly be people anticipating a potential retest and then another leg down. So that is a possibility. You did get a really solid bounce um, off of, that makes sense, 182.34. So back up above 189 is where IWM is more than likely going to go meet with 192. And once it hits 192 or 193, I think that it's likely to reverse again. There is this kind of, and again, anytime I see a downtrend, an unchecked downtrend, I'm usually going to mark it out or set an alert on it. So this is a downtrend that's, like I said, unmarked, I guess, if you will. It has not had that third tap. Maybe it has actually, but we'll see. So this would be a resistance to watch for, and this would be a support 195.85. So 195, again, I'm going to tweet this out. Go over the levels really quick. IWM is going to be let's see, 195.85. That's the third level. So basically the last level. The median level right there, that's going to be your pivot point, and that's 193. And then below that, we've got 188.50. And that's where you need to break above tomorrow morning in order to see continuation to the upside. So personally, I would say IWM gives you a move possibly up to the pivot point. And then that's really where a real decision is going to be made as far as whether or not we break that downtrend off of FOMC or whatever the case may be. So, and if we do have a green day tomorrow and we do retest, I think that we're just buying time for the inevitable dump. The top of the heat map. Um, Yeah, I will be live trading here tomorrow with a small account which has about 3,200 bucks in it. We did swing trade a few things, so we'll see how those play out tomorrow. But yes, and after I shut down YouTube, I will be answering a few questions on TikTok. But yeah, I just want to. I will be live tomorrow morning to trade live, go over the news, go over the watch list. So you'll be, those of you guys on TikTok will be able to listen to the team as they go over their levels, gamma, exposure, and stuff like that. So AMD always reacts well to earnings. Yeah, I'm planning on playing AMD tomorrow. AMD and Match Group are probably on the top of my watch list right now. So all right. So anyway, that's IWM. Let's keep it going. We got Apple on the watch list. I can't even spell Apple correctly anymore. It's ridiculous. Okay. Daily candle. This is pretty big. It's a hammer candle up against Apple's daily 200-day EMA. Not only is it the EMA, it's also a major level. So we can see that here by multiple levels of respect. So that's where you slammed into today, and that's 158.30. So 130, 158, and obviously the first target. Now I did talk about this before, and I think that I may have. It's easy to get short-sighted, and I may have been short-sighted on my analysis with this. Now, it doesn't mean that it was wrong. It just means that it was only right. It was right until it was wrong because it broke. So it did stay contained in the pattern, and then it broke, and then from that point, what you have right now is a retest of the support that you've broken. And again, you got a lot of flow to the downside. So anytime you take a big dump, usually you're going to have a retest. If the ceiling becomes or the floor becomes the ceiling, then you're going to retest the ceiling before you end up dropping to the next floor. So anyway, for Apple and considering this dynamic pattern as unvalid, okay, so we're not going to leave that pattern there. But what I do see as a actual possibility is Apple moving up into the 162.45 range, and that would likely bring it up to its downtrend. So I'm going to point that out right there. So I would anticipate a possible move, maybe right about there. So I don't know exactly how it's going to move. We'll determine that looking at the volume and price action tomorrow. But I see Apple hitting this resistance 162.50 to the upside. Ultimately, if you gap up and you're anywhere above 160, then I would expect a green to red day. Today I was correct about having a red to green day, and we pretty much stayed true to that. And so tomorrow I'm expecting one of two things, and I have to see futures to get a solid prediction. Awesome day, bro. Coors, awesome. Uh, if you have a chance, I don't know if you post in the gains page, but make sure you post in the gains page if you do, man. How did Deer do? DE. So anyway, that's Apple. Here's the bottom. This likely could play out as a wedge anywhere above 164, 164.60. I'm going to go ahead and actually change that. We're going to call it 165 even. Anywhere above 165, that's where we could possibly see Apple retest some levels. But otherwise, that's what I got here for Apple. Oops, let's not do that. Okay, so let's delete these funky lines. And remember, key levels are obviously key here. So like you need to have as cool as the dynamic lines may be. It's these key levels that are going to be deciding factors here going into tomorrow. So all right, posting this one to TikTok. Or excuse me, posting this one to my Twitter page. So if you guys want to see the save this for tomorrow or compare it to your chart, you guys don't follow me on Twitter, please do. Okay, posted and gained 68% on Amazon. Yeah, if you guys had any gains from today, always love them to see them. Holy shit, are you? Oh wow, you did. You nailed Amazon. Amazing, nice job. Excuse my language. Nice, voice. What do you consider an average account if 32 is a small account? I would say 15 to 25 grand is probably where you're getting out of this. I mean, it's still a small account in the grand scheme of things, but as far as day trading is concerned, you can do a lot more with 10 than you can with 3. So. Um, trade stage or trading view, excuse me. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. All right, that's Apple AA. Okay, so I actually had a really successful. This one was a fun trade, mostly because it was a textbook trade. So here's what happened, and it's a good time to do a recap on this because we played this one as about as perfectly as you can. We played AA to the downside on this support break. I believe we TP'd. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we did TP and we took upside positions on AA. And as it hit 72, I noticed that it had a bear flag forming, and so I went ahead and cut it. I know a couple people had downside positions for Alacola. I did trade that today. I did end up taking a position. I still think that AA gets down to $63. I think tomorrow. There is a good chance for a retest of 67.73, but I don't think anything bullish happens until you break above $70 even for AA. So that one's pretty easy. And then long wise, you can see a major trend shift here for AA. So I think maybe that 200-day moving average maybe a spot to legitimately bounce and reverse for Alcoa. Alcoa. BA has got some serious freaking issues. Yeah, buy Apple, just sit on it, playing it. Yeah, yeah, kind of. It's a good company. I don't know if Apple's going to look the same in 20 years, but every giant has to fall at some point. I don't think that's like, I'm just disagreeing with that being an entire trading plan, I guess, you know. So Boeing is out and down below its channel to the downside. You can see that here today, anywhere above 160, and you can possibly see a move to the 167.58 move or to 168.50 retest. One thing that I do know is that titanium comes from Russia, and Russia is not going to be providing that titanium, and there's a good chance that they may run out. So that could actually cause some serious issues for Boeing. And I personally, I almost thought about taking, I don't trade Boeing anymore, but I almost thought about taking a 120 leap to the downside in anticipation for a possible breakdown. But it did just fill a gap right here at 148.75 last week and today. And then as of today, you did get a possible reversal candle. So again, anywhere above 153.75, there's a good chance for a retest of 159, and then above 162.64, there is a small gap to 167. I don't trade Boeing; it's just too scary. If you have any requests, make sure to drop those in the YouTube channel. Link is in the bio. Oops. Oh my gosh, I'm really, really glad that I have not participated in this. But what this means is that Macy's is about to freaking move. And that's cool. So we're going to start tracking it because this is actually a wonderful setup. Top of demand. We also have to the downside a 2268 to serve as the support. We also have a median right here, and that's going to be at 2524, which is a psychological number, and that's going to be the median right there in that channel. So the way that I like to play these things now, it doesn't, when you have such chop, it's important more, what's most important here is to set alerts and to not be taking extraordinary bets, unless you have a hunch or you have the BB. But that being said, now that we know where we're at in this channel, I also see this, right? So we also have that bad boy. So we're all consolidated up. Uh-oh. Getting a little bit of data interruption here for those of you guys on YouTube, my bad. So Macy's actually has a pretty cool setup. It has your third bounce of support. Okay, one, two, three. It has two bounces of rejections off of resistance, which leaves it open for the third one. Um, what is going on outside of my house? Hey, got me looking like Karen right now. Um, okay, we should be good to go. Anyway, I see Macy's going up to $26.26. I'm marking that right now because that could be a good small account play to go long on. So I actually really like Macy's. Now you can take leaps in anticipation. You could even get into a straddle with a long enough expiration and a good OI. There is a good opportunities on Macy's, and you can set up a straddle and just add to the winners. So, but I'm gonna set alerts here to the downside 2360 or 70. I'm gonna set another alert at 25, another alert at 2575, and then just in case 2685. So I'm taking chart request on YouTube. Why don't you just go live with me or something? Your average trader, Starboy for the win, and um, buying and selling. Gotcha. Looks look looks like that would drive you crazy. What is a leap? Um, a leap is essentially anything like a position that you take with a hefty amount of time behind it. Usually, I would say anywhere between 4 to 6 months at the least is a good leap position. Often an anticipation for a wide range of movement. You know, it's almost like renting equity if you want to look at it that way. So. Again, I'm going to tweet this Macy's chart out. Mark this out really quick. Yeah, this chart would drive someone crazy, but the cool thing is it's gone from looking like a total crackhead to actually setting something up. Why so many alerts? So you don't miss anything. All right, sorry, I was just reading something. All right, sorry, I was just trying to catch up. All right, Merck was the next one. Ew. Massive double bottom on Merck. A gap fill here to the upside. You've already tapped that gap, 87. 87.43. Actually, forgive me, that's actually $90. Even is where that gap fills. So to me, I mean, I think it's pretty simple. With solid news and earnings behind you, if the move looks like it wants to move to the upside, um, here's your support. So I think that you're going to build an ascending triangle, probably. So there you go. There's Merck. So maybe watch for a bounce off of 86.50, kind of like Facebook tomorrow, yesterday or today. Damn it. All right. Amazon. I'm not liking my new spot. I love it. I love it. It's badass. It's got a lot of space. High ceilings. No, this is not Forex trading. No, I don't do that. Wow. So, if you guys remember this weekend, or I think last, these levels, guys, these levels are bonkers. That 23, gosh, if I had, maybe I should hire a video editor, to clip every single one of like my predictions, so that way I could make that into content. Because I do very clearly remember giving you guys I think it was the 2375. 2375 was the median of this channel. And then from there, I said that there was the mark of 2500, 2550, and that's where you can start looking at a retest of the supply, supply above you, which is 2720, which may be the rest of earnings season. Who knows? But all that being said, there's also something else to keep in mind here. You also have this crazy dynamic support coming from there, and you also have this gnarly resistance all the way up there. So looking at a dynamic channel, you are at the bottom of that channel, which gives you a lot of room to move to the upside potentially. Now it's still in a downtrend, but there's also something else to keep in mind. With earnings season cooling down, you also have Amazon going into its potential split. I'm not sure what the update is on that, but you also have a split coming, so that sentiment may bleed into Amazon. But otherwise, that's what I'll be watching for. So no, I don't. I don't really like Twitter right now. I think Twitter might fall. Thank you for the roses. Tesla. So man, let's go. I love technical analysis. Okay, so this one, Apple didn't, but Tesla did. Now, Tesla, tomorrow you closed above your pivot point. I say Tesla gives people a possible decent run to 950. That's a far shot, but let's also consider 918.75. That's the first level. to be watching for Tesla. And I think that, I mean, it depends on how we open. So make sure you guys are with us tomorrow morning. But uh, I would say around that 918.75 and then possibly even pushing up into the 935 level. But if we do get a big strong move before FOMC, then that's where I would see if we run up before Wednesday, I would have a hard time believing that we're going to reverse. But the only thing that I'll leave out on the table here is that Tesla also has an untouched resistance. Just like I pointed out at the beginning of this live, one, two, nothing. So, and if you're even just looking at just clear zones, right? There's a lot of confluence, and Tesla gives you really solid zones both to the up and the downside. But you can see right here for Tesla, you've got levels like 1,005. That's the median of that channel, and that's where the downtrend meets. So. All right, tweeting this out. How much is my live? Alex, everything that I do on live here is free. The only thing that we have available for purchase is our Discord, and that's not just me. That's seven other admins, all signaling, all trading different styles, all teaching, some going live, adding to whatever I'm doing, or just running live by themselves. So there's always somebody in there, as well as a ton of top traders, flow, dark pool, news, bots. You got all that stuff. So our price is going to be changing in August, but not a lot. Just enough to cover some acquisitions of some people to help us with the construction of a few things with the chat. So construction and maintenance. Yeah. I don't usually chart OTC stocks because there's usually nothing. All right. Let's do PayPal. All right, so PayPal. Actually, so I have a good chart here on PayPal. I'm obviously this resistance is not a valid resistance, but if you look at PayPal, it's got a really crazy looking setup. So what I see right now is the three, and these are very, very clear and obvious levels to the upside. But above that, you've got another one. So I would say that this is more of the zone that you would be watching. But from 94.50, I think that there's a good possibility to run up into the 97 mark. There's also the fact that PayPal is also in a really, really interesting setup on the daily time frame with a resistance that's coming all the way from this top there and then running down, which puts PayPal at a potential move up into this gap, which would be 108.60. So I would say that that trend would obviously change below 85 bucks. So I'm overall bearish on Tesla, yeah, but not. I don't know about tomorrow. right now. So yeah, yeah. So Facebook or our Discord is not for brand new traders. I mean, some people do come in brand new because they just want to immerse themselves, but we recommend that people take advantage of the free side, as long as they can. So I don't know. That looks like a pretty massive falling wedge here on the daily time frame for Ford. Now we've got a lot of issues as far and I'll tell you guys, one thing. Falling wedges are usually can account for 50% retracements. And that's not always just about it, but that's usually what you'll get out of it. Doesn't matter what time frame, and that would be $16.55 to the upside. So looking at Ford, we got a really good bounce. This pattern, by the way, is also at support for the third time after rejecting resistance for the third time. So this pattern can fail. And anywhere below $13.85 is where that would likely happen, leading you down probably to about $13.24. But ultimately, this does look like a potential falling wedge to lead you or possibly give you a pushback up to 16.55. So yeah, every chart that I've done is in the on the Twitter. So I've posted all the Twitter. So all right. It is 8:50, so we're gonna do a few more here, but yeah, thank you guys. You guys are on the live right now. I'm back from a week-long ban, so if you guys don't mind, lend me your thumbs. It's the only time I'm gonna ask strangers to do that for me, but just let those fingers have a little bit mini seizure on the screen for me, if you don't mind. Um, so indoor to I need. Well, it's gone now. Did I tweet that out already? I think I did. Yeah, lots of charts. Look at all the charts that I posted. So make sure to retweet those if you guys don't mind. That's a good chart to end the day on. AO. This is my son. No, I'm just kidding. My son's. This is literally the way that my son's name is spelled. I did not know that this was a thing. Therefore, I claim no energy from it. So, nor does he. There you go. That is AO. It's pretty cool anyway. What was that? The link for the top website is a heat map. So in order to trade, how much do I need? You could trade with $100, but it depends on what you're doing. Okay. Anyway, American Eagle. A lot of the times, I like to split the channel right in half. You can do that if you're not good at eyeballing the chart. What you do is you can just duplicate, right? Oops. Can you? No. Oh, clone. There we go. So duplicate, and then you can take that and then drag it down, and you'll find the natural kind of trend there. But that's what I got for AO right now. Currently at support anywhere below 1460, and you've got a long ways to go to the downside. Otherwise, the only hope I can give you if you're a bull here is that you've got this lower time frame setup that could give you a push up to 1762. You have a gap to fill at 1690, and then possibly give you a test of downtrend. But right now, American Eagles is on the decline, and I I can imagine why. So thanks, Gareth. Alrighty. Those of you guys on YouTube, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. If I missed your request, I'll take it tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys at around 8. It's actually gonna be 8:45 from now on YouTube. I'll be live a little bit earlier in the morning on the Discord if I'm on. But it's probably gonna be around 8:45. And just because I'm noticing the peak time is always about 8:43 to 8:46. So rather than just waiting for everybody to kind of pile in, I'm going to hang out on TikTok for just a few more minutes. But thank you guys. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't before you go. And I will catch you guys in the AM. So.